as we see with the Judge Cannon overreach, as we see with Donald's interlocutory, sub-interlocutory, a partial appeal to the Supreme Court, as we see with Steve Bannon's reckless disregard for the rule of law, and we're going to see a lot more of that in the coming days and months, we have to understand the importance of the separation of powers doctrine, and have to understand the uh, public policy under why it is unconstitutional and a slippery slope to tyranny if we break the separation of powers doctrine. Every person, every entity has a role to play in any facet of life. When it comes to our government, three branches of government are assigned specific duties by the Constitution. And every person working in their capacities in any job, they have a job description. They have a duty. When you go out of that responsibility into somebody else's responsibility, say, for example, on a daily basis, you live as part of a nuclear family where the father works and the mother is the homemaker. And we see comedies and movies and stories like this all the time when they switch roles and how big of a mess it becomes. Why is that? Because of, as simple as you can put it, the separation of powers doctrine. The father may not know how to cook or clean. The mother may not know the procedures at the office. You flip that on the side, same thing applies. If it's a working mother and a stay-at-home father, the father may not know what's going on in the lawyer's office that the mother works at. And the mother may not be apprised of what the children eat and what is okay for the children to do at what time. And it is critical that both maintain their roles in each of those places in order to both raise the kids in a uniform, effective, judicious, regular, timely manner, peaceful, progress, in a good manner, or do it in a haphazard, chaotic, tyrannical way where neither does the husband do the wife's job at the office, nor does the wife know what to feed the kids at what time. Because that's what the dad is doing at home, and that's what the mom is doing in the office. That's the role. It is simply as basic as that, but applied on a governmental scale. There are certain roles that our branches of government play. There are certain roles that independent agencies play, like the DOJ. There are certain roles that the judge magistrate plays as an Article 3 arbiter of a DOJ a warrant, in order for it to be an impartial warrant, in order for it to be specific, in order for it to protect the rights of the individual while also safeguarding the rule of law. The balancing test requires that there be people in different parts of our government in different roles and not have those roles bleed and overreach. It's not the judiciary's job to investigate, to prosecute, to look into criminal investigations. And it is not the prosecutor's job to be the judge, jury, and execution. Because if that were to be the case, the FBI would go out and put the warrant and say, this is the evidence we found, and shoot them right there in case of a murder, or say, oh, we're just going to take you to prison. Do hell with the due process of law, do hell with your Fifth Amendment rights. Because what Judge Cannon did was essentially say, no, I'm going to come over from being an interpreter of the Constitution and a fact finder of the facts to telling you how to prosecute and how to investigate. It just throws the entire thing out of balance. It throws the entire thing out of sync. And in order for us to be a functional republic, we have to maintain those guardrails. There are few doctrines that people don't really think about on a daily basis, and that separation of powers, the specificity requirement that I've brought up many times in explaining these proceedings that have happened over the last few months. These things are important uh, support systems that keep up American jurisprudence, that keeps up the stability, the peace, and the tranquility of our society. And when people attack those, when a federal sitting judge attacks it by emboldening a criminal former executive's mandates, it eats away at the foundations of our republic and our society.